What up, everybody? We are back.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. And but we're going to get into our picks for this Bellator 221 card. Chandler versus Pitbull in Rosemont, Illinois, wherever the fuck that is. Probably somewhere near Shermer, Illinois. And we're going to get into our UFC 237 picks. Chris, what are you drinking on? Are you still drinking on the same thing?
Same thing. Good old California IPA from the dudes.
That's what's up. That sounds pretty delicious. And I know they make good IPAs. I think they made the Dude Abides, maybe?
Yep, I've had that one. I think it was like an orange, something vanilla flavored IPA. I had it
Was
years
it?
ago. It was an orange can. It was some gnarly shit, but it was good.
See, I think I had it in bottle like way back in the day when they were first started showing up, where it was like the Barack Obama, but with the dude as the logo.
Cool.
Anyway, so I am not drinking that today. I am drinking a Boulevard Brewing Company beer that, if you guys remember, last segment I was drinking the Space Goat Coast to Coast Pale Ale. It's not called Coast to Coast. I did that.
I like that reference.
It's the yeah, it's real solid. Shouts out to Matt.
Where's Brack?
Yeah, and shouts out to Matt and Ed of the Coast to Coast Combat Hour. But so I'm drinking a Boulevard beer, which, if you guys remember, Space Goat is from Missoula, Montana, home of one Co-Main Event podcast. If you remember, they're good buddies with one Danny Downs, who we've met actually at a bar down here in San Diego, serving beer. And because he works with Boulevard, and Boulevard, I believe it was the Affliction drinking show where both Chad and no, you know what? I think Chad got stuck with it. And then Ben tried to pawn it off on his wife, and she wouldn't drink it. But I'm drinking the Boulevard Tech 9 Booloo. Because, so 151 rum, pineapple drink, and Malibu. I'm not going to repeat.
What kind of beer is that?
So this is technically
like a malt?
It's a wheat beer with pineapple and coconut added. Because if you guys don't,
ABV
5.5. Surprisingly, I thought it was going to be fucking strong as hell. Because if you guys don't know, Caribaloos are a drink invented by Tech 9. As far as I care, they probably existed before that, but he invented them because I was born before Dude was drinking these before I knew what booze was. And yeah, so Caribaloos are, which I've had multiple of, and they're fucking dangerous. I believe it's pineapple juice, Malibu, and 151 rum.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And they will fuck your whole shit up. It will legitimately, they are very zombie-esque. Where it is enough 151 to where good fucking luck surviving. Because it's not one of those.
It's probably Bacardi 151.
It used to be when they still made that.
Yeah, that got discontinued, huh?
Yeah, Bacardi stopped making 151, which was smart because I have started enough fires and gotten enough people way too fucked up by drinking 151. Shouts out to Flaming Dr. Peppers. But anyway, this is not a booze podcast, despite my best efforts. But I did want to shout out that I've never actually tried this beer, and I heard Ben Folks and Chad Dundas shitting on it so bad, and I saw it in the store. I was like, oh, I gotta try that.
So tell us what you think.
Okay, wow, that's actually way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought that for sure was going to taste like a suntan lotion. No, I mean, you hear pineapple and coconut and a wheat beer, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, suntan lotion. No, that's actually fucking very drink. First off, Chad Dundas and Ben Folks had the most trash-tasting good beer for someone who constantly shouts out their local breweries. I don't know. I'm questioning their actual. Actually, I think Danny Downs even gave us credit for drinking much better beer than they do.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of like when Ballast Point was in their heyday before they went all crazy and commercial. That'd be like someone going, "Hey man, what do you think of Sculpin? You know, the most popular. It's all right, but I like the Yellowtail Pale Ale the best." And they just confidently go like that, and you're like, "Well,
To be fair, Yellowtail is a very good beer. Yellowtail's. I don't know if I like Yellow. Wow, that actually looks.
I should say Longfin Lager.
Look at that.
Some shit.
That beer looks like a fucking Caribou. To be fair to them.
Yeah.
It looks like a hella carbonated Caribou. That's funny. Yeah, no, it's yeah. I mean, Boulevard makes great beers. This is a great like give to your girlfriend at a barbecue beer.
Okay.
Or maybe just because my girlfriend hates everything hoppy. But like I bet you girlfriend Karen would fucking love this thing. It's not very heavy in the coconut, it's not very heavy in the pineapple. It just adds a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of like a creaminess from the coconut. But yeah, overall it just tastes like a good, like a well-balanced flavored wheat beer. So I'm actually
yeah. Where did you get this at? Was it in a
Preferred Liquors, dog? Santee, you gotta check them out. Preferred Liquors, blat out. I honestly will pimp the hell out of that place because the guy who works there is a fucking sweetheart who owns it. Or if he doesn't own it, he's like the main guy. And he always, whenever I come in, he just walks me around and shows me everything new he got in and everything he likes. He's like, careful with that one. That one got me fucked up. Careful how you drink that. Share it with somebody. So yeah, Preferred Liquors. If you're out in Santee, right on, what is it, Mission Gorge?
See that like near Finita, right, or some shit like off the
yeah. It's like it's right by
off 52.
Exactly, right off 52 before you get to the Costco and all that. This is so local. Probably none of you guys are listening.
Fuck you talking about
San Diego? Yeah, there's probably one person listening from San Diego, and they're like, I really already know where this is, so I don't need you to explain it. Anyway. Speaking of local talent, Michael Chandler has been. Nope, that was Michael Chandler the guy who used to be sponsored in San Diego?
He's still sponsored from Escondido.
Is he still sponsored by the Toyota Escondido guys?
Yes, and he used to train at Alliance.
He did use to train at Alliance. I remember that. So we are gonna perfect segue, Chris. Wow, killing it. We're gonna segue right into this Bellator 221 main card that we're gonna talk about. I will mention here very briefly that Chris Lencioni, Chris Sunshine, aka formerly Chris Sunshine Williams, is fighting on this card. Who really like that dude. Trains out of the same gym as Jake Smith and Austin Vanderford and Chael Sonnen up in Oregon at the Gracie Baja.
Yep.
And he is. I like that dude. He's fun on podcasts, despite being a bit of a wild man. And I believe he's coming back off of a rough loss, if I remember right. Oh, that's right. I forgot he fought Tywan Claxton at Bellator 204. And I know he was working on opening a gym and stuff, but he is back at it, so that'll be interesting to see. And then Tywan Claxton, speaking of, is also fighting on the main card, or is fighting on the main card. But I think they're just trying to get Tywan Claxton to house somebody again. Mostly because I don't know much about James Bennett, and he's more of a regional fighter. I haven't seen him. I think he has one Bellator fight, something like that. But Tywan Claxton, if you guys have not seen, has done some AMAs on the MMA community forums, and from all things considered, seems to be a great dude. So, yeah, he has a previous Bellator win at Bellator 198 against Dustin Stussy. Pretty sure I saw that fight. Pretty positive. And then that was one of 5 professional fights he's had. So it'll be interesting to see how that Claxton fight goes. I know everyone is in love with Claxton after that crazy flying knee he just about killed a man with in his debut. And yeah, Tywan seems to be a great dude. I know he's been in actually, he made a sweet match 3 game for his fight, and he said whoever has the highest score is going to get like a prize or something. So if you check out Tywan Claxton on Twitter, go check out the sweet match 3 game. If you guys don't know, think oh god, what's the terrible soda one that everybody likes that's trash? Soda pop. What's the fucking mobile game where you match 3 and it's soda something?
Oh, I don't know. But I think you're right. Or you're kind of on the right track.
Candy Crush.
Oh yeah.
Because
That's
Candy
bullshit.
Crush put out Soda Saga. It took me a minute to get full circle on that one, but we got there. Yeah, but anyway, go check that out. It's cool. Talon Claxton seems like a great dude. Chris, I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb. Who do you have in the Jake Hager versus TJ Jones fight?
So based on who is it that said don't look at tape of Jake Hager's opponent? It said it could be a surprise. I'm trying to remember who the fuck said that.
Oh, we just talked about it in the last segment.
Let me see. Hold on. Sorry, I know I don't have that much notes. So
that's all right.
It was Vivisection. The Bellator picks.
Checks out. Yes, that sounds exactly like who would say it.
That's why I'm going with Jake Hager. Because if you're telling me not to look up tape on his opponent, and you want to be surprised, I assume this guy's a can. So I'm going Jake Hager.
Do you have a method on that bad boy?
I'm probably gonna go sub because I think he won his first fight by sub, and he has I think he has decent wrestling. I know he's from the WWE.
Oh, he definitely has decent wrestling.
But I remember he has legitimate wrestling. Like I do.
Yeah.
Like in
Division One.
Yeah, no, that's.
I don't
amazing.
remember if he was All American, but he was definitely Division
Either
One.
way, if you're on, you could. You got a leg up on just MMA wrestling, and I know MMA wrestling is a little bit different. But I got Jake Hager for sure. I'm gonna go sub. I'm not gonna cheat and look. I'm not gonna click on this guy's name. He's what is he 1-1? I don't. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Jake's 1-0. So.
But yeah, I got Jake Hager for sure.
Do you have a round on that just for fun?
Go like round 2.
Second. That sounds about right. I got Jake Hager TKO round 2, mostly just off ground and pound. That probably should be first round. You know what? I'm changing it. TKO first. Because I heard this week that his opponent did not train any takedown defense. I heard that specifically said during interviews.
That's fun to admit.
Yeah. No, that's great. We're like, oh no, for sure I'm going back to the meat factory after this, but I'll get to show up on TV.
Yeah, right. I'm going back to the tire pressing factory.
Yeah.
I'm going to go press some car doors.
No, for sure, if you're facing a D1 wrestler, for sure, don't work on takedown. Who is very green in their career? Don't work on takedown defense. How'd you do that? To be fair to him, I'm sure this is pretty late notice, or relatively. I don't know how much late notice is for dudes who are 1-0 or 1-1, but I would imagine even if dude was to work takedown defense, he figured it wouldn't matter. So why not try and just work uppercuts or whatever the fuck his plan is? But yeah, I got Jake Hager by ground and pound TKO first.
Okay.
Oh, let me guess the odds on that. He has got to be at least -700. Probably 8.
Okay, so look at my facial reaction.
I didn't see it because I was looking at the next one. Go ahead and do your facial reaction again, just for the YouTube viewers. This is special for YouTube. You have to say something before you do it.
Right. Okay. So what was your initial guess?
-700 or -800.
Try twice that.
That's crazy. Okay. Let's not get ridiculous, people.
I'll just say this.
Jake Hager's fought once in his goddamn
okay. I'm gonna make
career.
You laugh. So watch. Sport. It's all over the place for all these, and I get it. They don't know how to fuck. Okay, so I'll just give you some examples.
They're basically just trying to see how many marks they can get to put money down on the other dude.
Watch this. So Bovada, -1,000 for Hager, +600 for TJ Jones. Who we usually shout out, bet DSI, they don't have any odds for this. Okay. Here's the weirdest one. Someone named Bookmaker, -2050 for Hager to +885.
That's a weird line. Why would you do that's a crazy line. You do -200 for one dude +885. That's trash.
No. -2,050. 2050.
And +885. It should be like it should be like 1,500 if you're gonna make that line.
And
then
there's another one where it's -833 to +500. Then there's -1,500 to +675.
Those are all way too wide.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Okay, and want to hear the worst one? The worst one by far. This is the worst one. Bet Online says Jake Hager minus 2750 to a plus 1450. Like,
I mean, I still wouldn't put down $1 on to win 1450, but that seems too wide. It just does.
Yeah, this fight is fucked up.
Like, why even put a line out on that kind of shit if that's how bad you think it's going to be? You're not going to get anybody to play the over. I mean, the favorite.
Oh, boy.
Anyway.
The next fight. Oh, God.
Yeah. AJ. So, actually, the next fight's pretty solid. AJ McKee Jr. versus Pat Curran.
Oh, never mind. Not that one. I was looking at Taiwan Clarkson. Those odds are really fucked. Okay, let me look at that.
Oh, I'm sure they are because Taiwan Clarkson's got to be a huge fucking favorite for a good reason.
Okay, the AJ McKee one makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Yeah. So, how you leaning in this? Or actually, why don't we take a look at this AJ McKee fight and keep moving on? I heard he left the body shop.
So, can I be completely honest? I know who AJ McKee is. I know I've probably seen him fight. He's undefeated.
You definitely have. You definitely saw him at...
But I always forget what he looks like.
Well, if you look at his profile on Tapology, you'll see. You've definitely seen him fight at either 205 or 197.
Yeah, I've seen this guy fight for sure.
Yeah, he's looked good. He's looked good in every fight.
He's young too, so he's got that going for him.
Young in his career, but does have a win over Justin Lawrence, which is pretty solid. I mean, that's a legit veteran.
Not a bad win. Pat Curran.
John Macapa is another solid veteran win.
Pat Curran's who he's fighting. I think I've seen Pat Curran fight.
You've definitely seen Pat Curran fight. Emmanuel Sanchez, you might have seen that one.
So you completely
definitely George Karakhanyan.
Like I've seen a good amount of Bellator, but it's like the up and comers where I just kind of slips my radar.
Well, and that's the thing that makes it kind of tough about Bellator. Also, is it's been the same dudes rotating on a lot of these lower, especially the lighter weight divisions. Like fucking Pat Curran has fought Daniel Strauss twice. He's fought Joe Warren, Patricio Pitbull, Luis Palomino, Eddie Alvarez, Toby Amada, Roger Huerta, Mike Ricci. I mean, he's fought everybody.
Yeah.
But that's because everybody's been in fucking Bellator for the longest time.
Yeah.
Holy shit, he fought Darren Elkins in the year of our Lord, 2009. He fought Daniel Strauss for the first time in 2009. Like, dude has been around. I forget how long dude has been around.
I'm leaning AJ McKee. I know Curran's a scrappy veteran.
Super scrappy, super
laundry list of people. But I gotta go with the streaking young gun in this one, if you want to call it that. I don't really know what method of victory. I think I'm gonna go decision on this one because Curran, I feel like, is still pretty durable, scrappy veteran.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just kind of play the safe route here and go McKee by decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same way. Actually, I'm gonna go decision for McKee, mostly because this fight was supposed to happen originally in September of 2018. That has now gotten pushed back. And the last fight Pat Curran had prior to that was 2017 in October. And that does not give me confidence, especially in a dude who has been showing up and put on performances against. This is by far the biggest test of his career. And I think it's going to tell us a lot where both these dudes are at this point. But I'm definitely taking AJ McKee via decision, mostly just off of being able to outwork dude and either land more significant shots or win grappling exchanges, depending on how sloppy and wild this shit gets and how gritty Pat Curran makes it. But I got to take AJ McKee in a decision. I would not be surprised to see him drop around if he gets a little overzealous and ends up in bad position. But I'm pretty confident in him taking the decision.
Yeah, I like that call. For those curious about the odds on this fight, We'll go again with BetDSI, of course, unofficially. The odds brought to you by them. AJ McKee is a minus 286 to a plus 235 of Pat Curran.
Yeah. Yeah, I get why. I'm not nearly as sold as that. If I was to put that line out, I would say it would be like, I'm like minus 185, minus 170 confident in AJ McKee, but I get it. More active, younger dude, looking real good in his recent fights. Pat Curran's has been around for a long time. I get it. I don't know how much I agree with it, but I get it. That actually, if you want to throw Pat Curran in a dog parlay with a couple fucking of these undercard fights from the UFC card, that would not be the worst. The worst way to throw away $10. As the co-main event podcast says, which I believe now betting is legal in Montana. So look out for what was the joke Ben made on Twitter? For $20 you never want to see again.com. I mean, if you had $20 you literally didn't give a fuck about, a Pat Curran parlay with a couple of these undercard fights might not be the worst call.
It's not a bad call. So this brings us to what our co-main event of the evening, because I know we got to kind of get rolling here because we still got another full card we got to do.
I mean, I don't have much to say about this next two, so.
So I'll just say this right off the bat. We got Douglas Lima, the Brazilian, going up against the Englishman, or specifically a British fighter, Michael Venom Page.
Yep.
In the welterweight Grand Prix was his semifinals. I think Douglas Lima is going to win this fight because he's going to absolutely kick the fuck out of MVP's scrawny-looking legs.
Yeah, leg kicks and scrambles is like 100% how Lima wins this fight. The only way Lima loses this fight is by not trying to win. Like, if he gets lackadaisical like he did in the Rory fight, that shit could be trouble. If he just sits on the outside waiting for a moment, like, that shit is scary. But I don't see that happening. I see him absolutely.
I like Michael Venom Page. I like his patience and his.
I don't like Michael Venom Page and his creepy ass dad.
I know nothing about the dude's dad.
You should Google that sometime. It's fucked up.
Okay, well, clearly based on what you said, that's going to affect how I view him.
Well,
so maybe I'll do that down
dude's
the road.
dead, so I don't know how much Michael Venom Page is actually involved with all that. But let's just say if you start Googling Michael Venom Page's dad, nothing good shows up.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. Well, I'm not going to Lloyd Irvin a motherfucker, but
we tried to stay objective as possible.
Yeah, we don't really though.
Oh, I know we don't.
I'm not going to say he's Lloyd Irvin levels of not okay, but he was not Lloyd Irvin levels of not okay.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll keep on moving on.
He's teetering that. Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there since no one fucking mentions it except for I think Jack Slack, where he's like, "Oh, untorn."
Well, dude, if any Englishman or Brit's gonna shit on a fellow Englishman or Brit, it's gonna be ya boy.
Yeah, that motherfucker does not give a shit. That's one thing I love about that show is that dude will say whatever.
So I got Douglas Lima by leg kick death.
So do you think? Oh shit! Wait. So this is a 5-rounder, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a 5-round.
Even though it's co-main.
Yeah, because it's a tournament fight.
Right. Man, that kind of changes it. I was pretty confident in Lima by decision. But I might take Lima by sub in the third.
You're going sub. I think I'm still thinking decision. I think Michael Venom Page moves around pretty efficiently. I could see a TKO. Actually, you know what? I'm going TKO fourth late. It's one of these where he just keeps chopping him down. Yeah, I got Lima TKO fourth.
See, I'm not mad at that at all because Michael Venom Page leans so fucking heavy on that front leg, and Douglas Lima is so good at chopping with that calf kick, and he fucked Rory up with a lot of that. Like the only reason Rory was able to survive in that fight so much was with the wrestling prowess, which Michael Venom Page has zero of, evidently. So I got Lima. The thing is I think Lima is going to cook Page a bit in the first 2 rounds. I think he's going to stay pretty cautious. And number one, Lima is not always the most aggressive. He's very position over submission in a lot of cases on the ground, it feels like. Unless he is like really diving on shit. And I think with a guy like Michael Venom Page, I think he's probably going to play it a little bit slower just because he figures over time Page's cardio won't keep up, especially once the grappling starts really kicking off. So I'm taking Lima via sub in the 3rd, I think.
Okay.
Probably RNC or arm triangle, some heavy top position sub. But I would not be surprised if he just immediately gets him down and catches a RNC or a arm triangle. Probably RNC, if I was to be honest. Or he could very well pound him out from top position too. I think it really just depends on what Michael Page gives him and how broken Michael Page starts looking after he ends up on bottom. Because I have zero faith. If Paul Daly is wrestling your ass, I have zero faith that you're going to do anything against Douglas Lima that's legit.
Yeah,
I don't believe it. And this should be a minus 300 at least for Douglas Lima. So, I would argue bigger, probably more like 420-ish.
So if you're thinking that, Sportsbook has Douglas Lima at minus 300 or plus 210 to Page.
Boom.
However, everybody else has Douglas Lima at a minus 286 or 290.
Yeah.
To a plus 230.
I get why you put him at that rate because then people will still play it. Once you go over 300, it's hard to get people to play that line because that. But yeah, that's about where that line should sit.
I will have you really quickly go ahead and talk about this main event. I kind of have my reservations about it because I'm pretty biased to I want to win because I don't give a fuck about these Pitbull morons. I think they're both idiots. If you ask me.
Really? I actually really like the Pitbulls, even though they talk all of the shits.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I liked what he had to say about the USADA thing. I thought that was kind of cheeky and fun. But when I saw the weigh-in, he just looks like some short man syndrome. Like, I'm angry and roided out myself. I'm going to talk shit on USADA because I'm secretly on roids. That's how that works.
Well, they come off as very Brazilian, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, and because I don't know how to say their last name, so I just called them Friday. Because that's what
yeah, I believe.
No, to me, they're the Friday brothers, and I don't care if that's a bit. We have our bits on this show. We call people names. To me, they're the Friday brothers.
Hey, to be fair, when do most Bellator cards take place? Friday.
Yeah, right.
So that's actually a pretty good reference. I actually really enjoy that. But yeah, so I actually really like Patricio. I actually really like Patricio much more than I enjoy watching Patricky. But are
they twins or are they younger and older brother? Because they look pretty.
I believe younger and older because I know the different sizes at least. But so are you and your brother, so that doesn't really help. No, clearly. I believe Patricio is the older brother. I'm not positive though. Here, I can figure this out. Let me see. Patricky is born on. Patricky was born in 86, and Patricio was born in 87. Wow, Patricky's actually the older one.
Okay.
I constantly confuse them until I look at their records every fucking time I do. So here's my thing. Michael Chandler getting a win over Brent Primus. No, Primus.
It's not Primus as much as you want it to be.
That's the problem. If the band is Primus, I believe it's Brent Primus. I think it's Primus.
It's Primus.
I'm trying to think about how Jimmy Smith says it, but it's probably wrong too. Anyway, the win over Brent is impressive. However, it is not as impressive as some of the wins over Brennan Gertz and the way he dominated Goichi Yamauchi. However, Patricio has been looking on fucking fire. Patricio got the win over Emmanuel Sanchez, who is a tough fucking out for everybody. Emmanuel Sanchez has been looking very good, apart from the Pitbull fight. I mean, last loss he had before that was in 2016. Also, Daniel Weichel is another solid win. He had the win over Dan Strauss via guillotine, and the only reason he lost to Benson Henderson is because his leg got fucked up. It's crazy for me to say this because I like Michael Chandler a lot. I got Patricio in this via decision.
Okay. I got, you know what? I'm going Michael Chandler, vicious knockout. It's going to be some deja vu. Get some, your brother's getting knocked out too.
To be honest, super possible. Like, Michael Chandler hits hard as hell and comes out on fucking fire, especially in the early rounds.
And shouts out to Tapology saying his current head coach is Eric Del Fiero of Alliance.
Is it? Yeah, I don't think he's still there, though. I thought he went to
no, he's not. He's definitely not.
Is he in Arizona or Vegas? I can't remember.
It says he's fighting on Las Vegas.
Okay.
Because, so it's funny. He went from Alliance to Black Zillions and then from Black Zillions to Vegas.
Right. And I forget who he's with in Vegas because I blend all those places together. Part of it is because Richard Hunter and Frank Mir kind of move around a bit, which makes it very confusing for me. I know they're mostly with the one that's not Extreme Couture, Syndicate. But I mix all those Chandler, up so much.
When I think of Michael Chandler, I just remember, he was college teammates with Askren and Woodley, even though Chandler was like a freshman with us. He really helped Woodley.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I think is going to be a big X factor in this fight is how much does Chandler try and work for it to go to the ground. However, I think the more he does, the worse it's going to turn out for him. Because I think the more energy he expends trying to get Patricio down, I think the harder the latter rounds are going to be on the feet. So yeah, I'm taking Patricio by decision. What you had Chandler by knockout?
I'm gonna get gnarly ass knockout. I'm gonna go fucking round 2. So he just gets caught.
Dude, totally possible. Chandler throws fucking heaters. And Patricio will get into wars, especially they've been going back and forth for a long time. So it'll be interesting to see how that.
Just because historically guys going up in weight usually win, I won't be surprised if Patricio at least has a great fucking performance.
Yeah,
regardless.
I'm honestly very high on Patricio. I think he's one of the best at either weight class. But yeah. I could see it going a lot of ways. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and roll into, at this point, we'll roll into our, yep. Oh, right, quick. Odds.
Minus 200 for Michael Chandler to a plus 170 for Patricio.
Wow. Man, if you want to set up a trash Bellator parlay, I think your move is to try and pick the Meat Factory Worker and Patricio.
So we got to go ahead and kind of roll through it.
So I have nothing to say on a lot of these prelim fights. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
A lot of these are setup fights for Brazilians.
If I'm honest, bro, I kind of want to just like, I don't want to just be like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, but like, dude, like this first fight, zero clue. I honestly literally don't even want to try to be honest. I don't want to.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with Viviane Araujo.
Sure, Vivi.
Women's Vivi. Yeah.
Her nickname is Vivi.
And the odds for that, because I'm going there.
You going decision or sub?
Oh, shit. God
or knockout, I guess.
It's a decision, for sure. And the odds, wow, it says... Whoa.
So before you say the odds, yeah, I'm taking Toledo by decision because She has way higher level experience, and also just expect Toledo to win enough grappling exchanges. So go ahead and tell me how big a favorite Toledo is.
So the only thing that's weird, the anomaly here, is that Toledo is supposed to also be fighting Melissa Gatto.
Yes. Melissa Pussy. Oh, sorry, Cat.
Yeah. So her odds against Melissa Pussy.
I really wish I hadn't made that joke, and then you just doubled down on it. So now
I had to, dude. You know me.
I know.
Check you, dog.
Hey, man, I get it. We're both big fans of the Fast and the Furious 1. We've seen El Gato Negro, the club. We know what's going on. We get when Paul Walker's looking for DVDs in a warehouse.
Yeah, that thing. Or fucking, what's that? I remember I saw Triple X, the first one. Remember we saw the third one, unfortunately. That was a real thing. The first one, Triple X, where every time Xander Cage is straight edge. And well, even the third one, he's like this. He's at the club. He's like, I'll take a cranberry and soda. And then he just starts quoting fucking Anarchy Burger from the Vandals. Great fucking band. Great song. But don't ruin the movie when you have some Russian communist fucking going, it's just like, no, dude. Like, it's, yeah.
I haven't thought about the Vandals in 20 fucking years. I am not gonna lie. I love me some Vandals, but Jesus Christ, I have not thought about them for a while.
Yeah.
Toledo's a big favorite.
Bernardo against Melissa Gatto is a minus 550 to a plus 420.
Too big.
And Toledo Bernardo against Viviane Araujo is a minus 325 to a plus 275.
Still too big. I think she should be like a minus 250, 280, something like that. I would guess it's because no one knows who the fuck Vivi is. So they're just leaning heavy on Toledo off of her experience, which understandable, but man, this could get very scrappy.
So the second fight is at men's bantamweight. Should we get in? I'll be honest.
Let's keep bringing it through.
Yeah. Jaime Barcelos versus Carlos Joaquin Quiros from Panama, looks like.
You probably nailed that pronunciation, by the way. I was going to go with Joaquin, but I think you're right. I think it's Joaquin.
It might be Joaquin.
No, I think you're right because of where he's from.
I'm going to go with the Brazilian guy based on this is in Brazil, and they probably want a hometown hero. Evidently, I know nothing about both these fighters. It's at bantamweight. Few bantamweights have pure knockout power, so I'm going with Barcelos via decision. No disrespect to the bantamweights. There are bantamweights that have knockout power. Don't get me wrong, like, Marlon Moraes, Cody Garbrandt, whatever.
Hell, bro, there's flyweights that got knockout power.
Yes. Henry Cejudo. Fuck. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? Once he goes up in weight, he's probably even stronger. So
not only that, how about fucking Jessica Andrade?
Yeah, that's a scary fight, and I have her in fantasy.
That's a fucking good book.
And you know what's sad? I fucking forgot to play anyone last week in both leagues.
That is not helping you.
And I still made the playoffs, except I have 0 playoff points, and I think you have like 15, so you're like having a big padded league.
Yeah, I'm doing good in playoffs. However, I have a couple picks here coming forward, like Jerry Cannonier, which are making me very fucking nervous.
I'll just say this. I set my lineup. I'm very, very confident I might be able to pull off an upset in the playoffs.
Dude, you and I think all 4 of us are honestly, I think, based on what's left and who we have.
I got my girl Andrade, and I got some other good.
Some of these are going to get down to the fucking wire or be like, hey, it's a coin flip as to who wins that.
So,
Kevin Lee, but
I'm going with the homie Barcelos. I know we got to get rolling here.
Yeah, you got him by decision, or
yeah. And it's sad because I didn't even click on his name. I'm such a fucking asshole.
No,
I have no idea what good.
So I have Barcelos as well. I got him by sub in the second. I think mostly he's probably going to be able to both weather the early onslaught of Washington and make him basically. I think the pressure and pace of Barcelos is going to make Wachin, or however you pronounced it, throw and gas and end up on bottom.
These odds.
I think it's a long night for him to win that fight.
So based on these odds, it's a good call.
Oh, I'm sure Barcelos is a huge favorite.
Our boys from Bet DSI and officially, Barcelos minus 1667.
Whoa, too big.
+7.
Too
big. Okay, so let me tell you everyone else. Everyone else is a minus 1,000 to a plus 600.
Still too big.
Yeah. Moving on.
I like Honey Barcelos, but Jesus Christ, that's way too big.
Moving on, based on her reputation that precedes her, of course, it is Priscilla Cachoeira, flyweight, women's flyweight, to Laura Carolina, and I'm going with Laura Carolina because I've seen Priscilla Cachoeira almost die in the octagon.
Yeah. What are you going with method-wise?
Decision. Because she survived last time.
Yep. I am taking Luana via decision as well because I can't pick Priscilla based off of what she throws. Luana at least throws a little bit of straight punches, which she constantly just gets walked down and threw a bunch of naked kicks and got countered with giant hooks, which could be a problem against Priscilla. But Priscilla loads up so fucking hard on everything she throws, and she is so uncoordinated when she does it that I cannot consciously pick Priscilla at all to win a fight at this point. I need to see way bigger improvements to pick her to win a fight.
And so the odds makers have it at minus 164 for Laura Carolina to a plus 145 to Priscilla Cachoeira.
Yeah. See, I agree with that. I'm honestly a little surprised it's not wider, just based on how they're booking the rest of these. And
I hate to do this, but I'm gonna roll through this next fight as much as
I have zero to say about this other than Clay Guida is gonna TKO ground and pound the shit out of BJ Penn. I think BJ either gets stopped.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah,
that's all you have to hear. Say whatever round you want, and I agree with you. Moving on, I'll let you know the odds.
I'll say I got Guida via TKO. I think it's either gonna be late second, early third. It could even be between rounds, depending on how fucking much BJ's just getting pounded on the ground. BJ's reaction time is not good. BJ's wrestling is proven to be less good, and BJ's grappling has not improved since 2009.
So what do you think of the odds of a Clay Guida at minus 700 to a plus 450?
Wider. I would play that. Yeah. I know why, and it's because BJ could win a fucked up decision in Brazil, but I don't think he will. I think if you're gonna, I just don't see a way where he isn't either on bottom getting pounded out with ground and pound, which Clay Guida has already said this week that he's just looking to put him on his back and punch him in the face a bunch, or in which BJ Penn doesn't just get clipped and fucking smashed. So yeah.
And so by the way, this is where I now know when Jack Slack was saying it's the fucking hour of misery. And if I'm honest, I'm not going to break these down. Maybe you can do it. Please guide me through Warley Alves for Sergio Moraes in welterweight bout. I do not. I'll be honest, I don't give a fuck about. Okay, I'll be honest right now. I don't give a fuck about this fight, next fight after that, next fight after that.
Do you actually?
I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's just like I want to be objective. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I think these first two are actually very worth watching.
Okay.
Warley Alves and Sergio Moraes is going to be a banger. Like, there's no way both these dudes when they engage, they both tend, if someone's throwing fucking murder hooks at them, they're going to throw murder hooks back. And
did Warley submit Colby with like a neck crank or something?
Sure did. Guillotine, I believe.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
And I know, what's his face? Sergio Moraes.
Yep, guillotine.
He has some sharp knockout power.
He sure does. He also has a very nasty submission grappling game, of course. I think most of this fight is going to take place in like the pocket, where I think both of them are going to throw a lot. I think honestly, a lot of this fight's going to come down to who wins grappling exchanges and who wins clinch exchanges, because they both can get neutralized in the clinch. Warley Alves against James Krause, got basically shut down in the clinch and had no answers. Not that he was getting bodied, but he just had no answers. He was not digging underhooks. He was not turning off the cage, all that. Sergio Moraes has a little bit of that, except he'll jump on desperation guard pulls and guillotines and stuff like that, which are very dangerous, but it's going to be tough to pull something like that off against Warley Alves. And in that case, it just comes down to who I think has the better cardio and who I think is going to be able to outlast the other and win some of the grappling exchanges, because there will be grappling exchanges. So I've got Sergio actually to take this via decision. I'm not very confident. I mostly have Sergio because I think he's probably going to win grappling exchanges in the first 2 rounds. I think he's probably going to gas pretty hard by the third, but he's defensively sound enough on the ground that I think he'll survive it. And I think both dudes are going to gas out from either wild striking exchanges or extensive clinch exchanges, which I think doesn't help or hurt either one of them really, unless somebody catches somebody with something wild. So I'm going to take Sergio via decision, but not very confident.
Okay. I'm just going to agree with you there. So I'll let you know what the odds. Odds are.
Done and done.
The odds was our boy Sergio. Okay. Warley is a -141 to a +125. Sergio Moraes.
I could see that. He's had a better run lately in the UFC. And Sergio has fought some real tough competition, but also had some trouble. I could definitely see it. But when you look at the last 2 dudes Warley Alves has lost to since 2012 has been Kamaru Usman and Anthony Rocco Martin. So
that's crazy.
Pretty wild.
So this next matchup is a lightweight bout between Thiago Moises, Brazilian fighter, against American fighter Kurt Holobaugh. Yep. I don't really have much to say, except I've heard a lot of hype on Kurt Holobaugh. I've watched him fight before. I've also seen
Contender Series guy.
Yeah, he's on a current 2-fight skit to Shane Burgos, no shame in that, and Raoni Barcelos, who has insane odds on this card. Thiago Moises.
He's coming off that loss to Benil.
The loss to Benil, yeah. I'm leaning Kurt Holobaugh. Decision, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Yeah.
I was going back and forth on this one quite a bit, but I'm going to take Holobaugh via decision as well, and mostly because I'm not ultra confident that I'm just not confident that Thiago's not going to jump on guillotines and end up on bottom and lose rounds. I think on the feet, Holobaugh probably has an advantage. Holobaugh in his fight against who was it? Shane Burgos dropped Shane Burgos bad with the combo before getting caught with that armbar. Like he clipped the fuck out of Shane Burgos and had him super rocked before diving right into an armbar. And outside of literally that same sequence happening again, or him sticking his neck in on a guillotine that Thiago Moises jumps on, I think most of his fights to me, Thiago Moises losing striking exchanges and then diving on submissions that he's not going to catch. And I think that's a bad way to win rounds. So, yeah, I'm taking Holobaugh via decision.
I like it. And the odds for those curious, Kurt Holobaugh, Thiago Moises is a -115 to a +102 of Kurt Holobaugh.
Really? That's got to be all record based.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you take a look at this next fight, Lil Nog versus Ryan Spann, while I very quickly try not to piss myself. So enjoy.
No worries. So we got Little Nog, because I think Big Nog is a heavyweight, because I always get these motherfuckers confused because they're twins, and that doesn't help. They're identical twins for those who are living under a rock or don't know. Well, it doesn't fucking matter. You've heard all that shit. Anyways, Antonio Ruggiero Nogueira, Little Nog, the last time we saw him, he has a record of 23 wins, 8 losses. Last time we saw him in the UFC, he knocked out Sam Alvey at the beginning of the second round last September. He's going up against American fighter Ryan Superman Spann. His record of 15 wins, 5 losses, and he has a very terrible fucking... Dude, he has a fucking Superman tattoo on his... Okay. You like that one other guy. What's his name? Jason Peterson? Come on, dude. Be more original than that. Whatever. You can kick the fucking shit out of me and damn near anyone else who doesn't know how to fight. So, can't blame you for that. But then again, you're 6'5", dude. You're like almost a foot taller than me. So, that's just how that works. Anyways, this is your second UFC fight officially because you're Dana White's Contender Series. I think you're absolutely going to murder Antonio Ruggiero Nogueira. I have Ryan Superman Spann by knockout in the I'm going to go second round because no, you know what? I'm going to go first round. I'm on the Ryan Spann train. I mean, he's going to get a first round knockout of Lil Nog.
Yeah, I'm going the same way.
Yeah.
I can't trust any part of Lil Nog's game at this point in his career.
Yeah,
you said KO, right?
Yeah, and you'll like what I said about his shitty Superman tattoo on his chest, just like your boy Jason Peter. What the fuck that guy's name is?
I was forget about that. Yeah.
See, if you're gonna get a Superman tattoo, at least be like Gregor Gillespie and get it on your deltoid.
Or be the lead singer of Three Doors Down. One of the two.
Yeah, right? Yeah. That whole thing.
Yeah. No, 100%.
The odds on this, according to BetDSI, unofficially, Ryan Spann is a minus 143 to plus 122. I think it should be way wider than that, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, the only thing is with Ryan Spann is like, who knows how that is going to look against some of the if Lil Nog just throws 1-2s and stays patient and his chin holds up, it could be a long night. But I don't think his chin's going to hold up. So I will let you go ahead and do this next one. This is basically the fucking GOAT 141 fight because that's the weight class that's being fought at. There's never been 141 pounds. Irene Aldana is going to pepper the shit out of the face of Betts Correia. Hey, what happens if we mix someone up with a decent boxing game and who likes to backpedal and pot shot? What if we mix someone up with who just walks forward with their hands down and their chin square in the same place the entire fight?
Hey, look at me. Look at me. I have the ass now.
No, yeah. Please kick me right in the fucking face.
That's still one of the fucking most satisfying knockouts. Thank you, Holly Holm. That was so hilarious.
To be fair, it's probably the greatest moment of Holly Holm's career.
Besides the whole Ronda thing.
Oh, sure. If you want to count that. I mean,
I know that depresses you because of the parlay you lost every time.
To be fair, I did lose a parlay. Well, to be fair, Ronda, I was just throwing Ronda in every trash parlay.
You were at my apartment and you were
That's right, I was.
Couch. Yeah, and you're like this. All of a sudden, oh! And this is just you. Look. And I'm like, you know what? I feel for you, dude. I'm sorry.
Dude, to be fair, though, well, first off, I would just throw Ronda in every trash parlay I had back then, because why would you not do that?
Yeah, why would you not?
And second off, that house was cursed, bro. You know, we watched Silva break his leg and Ronda get head kicked in that house.
I wasn't there for that. I wasn't there for the Silva. I was out of town.
I was there for both of those, and they were. I was like, oh, this dude's going to get housed. And then just cut to the exact fucking opposite happening.
Hey, to be fair, my house now is cursed. My fucking mate, because I saw Woodley look like he's seen a ghost against Marty Usman.
Yeah.
So.
He did get straight housed.
He was worried about his rap album debut.
Man, I'm more worried about Marty's rap album debut. If you want to see a 9-10 round for Marty, go ahead and wait for that one. Yeah, no, Irene Aldana is going to fuck up Betch Correia in the longest decision of our lives.
It's going to be real bad.
Yeah. I think Betch is literally too stubborn to get knocked out by Irene Aldana, and especially her coming in overweight. I don't think Irene is going to sit down on punches enough to get it done inside the distance, but I think Irene is absolutely going to win at least one of these rounds on a 10-8.
I think Betch is clever enough where he goes, oh, well, I'll just take a purse loss so that I can get the power advantage by weighing.
See, I think the opposite. I think Betch is exactly the kind of person who will walk into a jab and a straight for 3 rounds and just do it more aggressively over time because that's the only option she has with her.
So she's like Rocky in Rocky 1 and 2, where she just blocks with her face, and then it's before Rocky 3 she realized she could put up her guard. So,
well,
anyway,
I mean, if you're getting KO'd by Ronda,
well, yeah, it's in hindsight, it's you gotta
doesn't
do
look
something
great.
really bad.
Doesn't look great.
You gotta do something fucked up to get KO'd by Ronda Rousey. Anyways, the odds on this, Irene Aldana is a minus 370 to a plus 285.
Too small. Bet the fuck out of that line. The only way Betch wins that fight is if the judges are all Saul D'Amato. And I don't think they've figured out cloning in Brazil yet, so I think we're all right.
So I'll let you take over this next fight, which is a welterweight bout between Thiago Alves and Laureano Staropoli, another Italian-Argentinian.
Yeah. So Staropoli pretty much exclusively in his UFC career just brawls in the most like Justin Gaethje with no self-control kind of way.
Okay.
And I mean, if Justin Gaethje had no self-control, not in that he fights like Justin Gaethje. I mean, if you were to take whatever little self-control Justin Gaethje has away, that's how Staropoli fights. He's just jumping into giant hooks and like a wild.
By the way, since we're on the subject of that lightweight division, what are your quick thoughts on the announcement of Tony Ferguson coming back against Cowboy?
I don't want to see Tony Ferguson fight until next year.
I know. So I was very displeased to see that news. It's unfortunate that it's happening. I would like to see him have for Tony, but I don't know where his state of mind is at. So
I mean, I get it. I get why they're booking it. I get why every party involved would want that fight. I don't feel comfortable with it. I feel real uncomfortable with it.
In hindsight, who would you favor in that right now? Because right now I'm favoring Cowboy based on I don't know where Tony's at.
I'm favoring law enforcement.
Yeah. I'll say this.
I hate to be like a fucking bummer about this shit, but like,
no.
Throwing people back into head traumatic events that cause head trauma directly after having serious mental issues is a fucking big deal that I think does not actually get addressed in the sport.
It's really, honestly, it's a bad look for the sport. It's not good that they did this fight.
I don't even give a fuck about the look for the sport. I think it's dangerous as shit, and it's how you come out with really broken people.
That you're disrespecting the health of Tony Ferguson. I don't care if you've been cleared.
Yeah. Anybody can get cleared by any fucking commission.
I can't relate on the level that Tony Ferguson has as far as the mental strife that he's dealt with compared to what I've dealt with. He's dealt with some far gnarlier shit than me. That doesn't matter. I'm not comparing myself to him. I'm not an MMA. I'm not a mixed martial artist. He is. I just want to see unbiased, biased. I want to see him come back I kind of feel like objectively tell he's in that right fighter's attitude. You know what I mean? That we've seen him be in, and I like the Ferguson versus Cowboy fight. I like that matchup.
Yeah.
I just don't like it right now, soon.
Yeah.
And if I were to pick who's going to win, Cowboy's like Dad Cerrone, if you want to call him that. You know, everyone has looked fantastic. Clearly, he's looked great. I would probably still favor Tony if the Tony we know shows up, because I still think he's the second best lightweight in the world besides Khabib, which is why they need to fight each other. Yeah.
Second or third at this point.
So, when that fight happens, and we'll get to that. No, people were talking about fucking McGregor and who should fight. You know who should
cares?
fight? You know who should fight? Fucking who cares, really? But if I'm matchmaker, it's hey, Justin Gaethje, you want to fuck someone up with the leg kicks and go Homer Simpson and scare them? Yeah, fight Conor. Yeah, that's what I would do. If I'm like, fuck you, Conor, you're fighting Justin Gaethje. If you don't fight Justin Gaethje, you're never getting a title shot again. Fuck you. And Conor would be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna sell my whiskey, you know. But no, that's what I do. I swear to God, hey, Justin, I'd be like, hey, Justin Gaethje, guess what? Not only are you getting a good stylistic matchup, you're getting fucking paid. And that dude.
Well, Justin's been calling. Yeah, he's been calling for that fight. He said either he wants Tony or Conor, which, I would like to see that.
Sorry, I had to go that route, but we were on that lightweight topic.
Well, but also speaking of people who I don't want to see until they're mentally healthy, that motherfucker is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
And also, I don't expect him to be battling much other than Irish courts for the next year or so.
Yeah, nor do I.
Which is why which is in my opinion why he keeps tweeting all the fucking time, is because he knows he can't go anywhere near a ring anytime soon for the UFC because they won't deal with the fucking headache. Because WIME or Endeavor, I should say, is very willing to overlook a whole lot of fucking things like beating up women and shit like that. They are not trying to deal with some Harvey Weinstein-esque shit. I will tell you that right now. So if you are in the process of raping or are in the process of fighting a rape conviction, they probably are not looking to push you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
two people who are not pushing a rape accusation or dealing with it. That was the worst segue. I'm going to go ahead and stop and not segue off that. And I'm going to go ahead and re-intro this fight, which I don't know. Do we actually give picks for this? I know you had said Thiago Alves, right?
Yeah. So should we look at the odds? I have no idea what he said.
You had him via leg kicks, right?
Thiago Alves?
Yeah, or am I mixing your fights?
No, because I just had him because for no reason. That's why I had you take this over.
Oh, gotcha. So the reason why I asked is because I have Alves via leg kicks. I think that is going to be the big differentiator in this fight. I think Alves is basically going to be able to chew him up at range with leg kicks, especially since Staropoli throws so fucking hard and lunges into everything and telegraphs everything. I think he's just going to get chopped down with that outside leg kick, especially if Thiago is throwing it to the calf. Thiago has one of the nastiest leg kicks around still to this day, as you could tell in his last fight against Max Griffin, which he lit his fucking leg up. I think against a dude like Staropoli, I think that's going to be a huge fucking problem for his game plan over time. Whereas Staropoli might land some shit early and get a little bit going early, much like Max Griffin did. I think once he really starts getting that calf chewed up, I think it's going to completely shut down his offensive ability, and he's going to end up wobbling and gassing towards the second and third. So I've got Alves via decision.
I like the call. I'm gonna do the same thing. The odds on this one, for those who are curious, we got Thiago Alves at a minus 119 to a minus 101 of Laureano Staropoli. Next up,
that's actually way wider than I would have expected. That's interesting.
Yeah.
To be fair, Staropoli looked fucking like a wild man in his last fight. He just came out there throwing heaters the entire time. So,
yeah. Next up, we have what some people consider their fight of the night between featherweight GOAT, in my opinion, Jose.
It's definitely the second best fight on this card.
Yeah,
if not the first. It's like very close. This is a title fight.
I always forget if he's Kiwi or Australian. I'm pretty sure he's Australian. He's Australian. Alexander Volkanovski. Last time we saw Alexander Volkanovski was 19-1. He knocked out Chad Mendes.
Fucking did. He fucking housed.
That was a goddamn war. And last time we saw Jose Aldo, he knocked out Renato Moicano via punches to the body, which is his trend lately. This fight's going to be absolutely fantastic. I am leaning Jose Aldo because of his scrambling.
Interesting.
Alexander likes to go for a double. against the cage. And I know historically, Jose, look at his fights against, Frankie.
So you know, Volkanovski actually has the longer reach.
Does he really?
By an inch and a half. Yep.
No way. Okay, so that's because I know Jose had really fucking long arms.
They're both pretty long, yeah.
Wait. Okay, so yeah, Volkanov. Well, he's the same height as me. That's a trip. So Volkanovski's 5'6", 71 and a half. See, my reach is like 65 and a half. Like,
my reach is super trash. Also, yeah. My leg reach is dope. My fucking arm reach is trash.
Hey, and just be a kickboxer.
I'm like a giant fucking Artem Lobov over here.
So yeah, that's crazy. You said that. Wow. Volkanovski has 71.5-inch reach for 5'6". Dude, his arms are long. And Aldo is 70, which is still long, and he's 5'7". Wow, this could be really close. Okay. I'm still sticking with Aldo, by the way. And the reason I'm sticking with Aldo is because he always proves me wrong. Like, everyone's like, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT, and like, he's almost it's like, dude, look who and don't get me wrong, would I be surprised if Volkanovski won? I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. I guess I'd be mildly surprised. I don't know.
It depends on how, right?
Yeah, it depends on how. I think this is going decision because it's 3 rounds. This is 100% going decision. I saw how tough Volkanovski is. We know how tough Aldo is. I think this is 100% going decision. It's a matter of who can maintain their distance and their pressure, and who can back up against defense.
I totally agree.
Aldo, I think, is more kind of aggressive in that he looks for those body shots. He kind of just presses forward and kind of leans in like this.
He loves digging that left exposed. Yeah, he loves digging that left.
His cheeks was up, right? The only problem is, can Volkanovski kind of counter with those short hooks, which he did against Mendez. So,
yep.
Part of me likes. I'm actually 50-50 on this. I could kind of choose both of these guys. Fuck, this is a tough matchup, man.
So would it sway your opinion at all to know that Aldo has been dealing with, I don't remember if it was a staph infection or surgery complication?
He had a reported injury
on his knee.
Like a couple months ago. Yeah, and I remember someone was like, is he still going to fight? And like, oh, he's still going to fight.
Yeah, I believe it was a cut that got infected, maybe, that was on his knee. But he's been dealing with that literally most of camp, from what I've heard. Now, it's also Aldo, though, so who knows if that actually makes a difference?
I'll tell you right now. I'm going Aldo because I've doubted him too many times, and he just comes through, and I'm just going off consistency. But if Volkanovski wins, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. I'm like, this dude's shit. He's the next big thing, like clearly. And by the way, speaking of this division, did you see the next big matchup they're doing?
Before we get into that,
let's.
I'm gonna take Volkanovski via decision, mostly because
I like that.
Aldo being out of training camp for most of this, like he said he was training like once, twice a week for most of this camp. And Volkanovski has been coming in and fucking housing people just with his pressure and his pace and his volume. And I think that is exactly how you beat Jose Aldo in a 3-round fight, is with pressure, pace, and volume, and a chin. And he has all 3 of those. Plus, honestly, he didn't pound out fucking Chad Mendez from top position?
Yeah. They knocked him the fuck out.
Well, and he also, did good in wrestling exchanges with Chad Mendez.
He did. He took him down.
Yeah. That's notable.
I like to pick Volkanovski. However, it's in Brazil.
Yeah. That's the thing I'm worried about.
Yep. And that's why I'm going with Aldo.
Yeah. I think that's a very fair option.
And that's the only reason why I'm going with him. I swear to you right now, I'm not even kidding. If this is in Vegas or the US or anywhere else, I'm picking Volkanovski. Yeah. I swear, as far as consistency, I'm going to Aldo.
I can see this being a 29-28 either way, and I do, The Brazilian crowd could be a problem. Also, all those leg kicks, which he never uses anymore, but if he does decide to use leg kicks, I think could cause a serious problem.
Just like how Justin Gaethje should use his wrestling, but that's another story. This is why Justin Gaethje, besides Tony Ferguson, is probably the biggest threat to Khabib stylistically. But well, don't get me wrong. I want to see both of those guys fight Khabib. I think you would agree with that. I mean, if you ask me right now, which two lightweights do you want to see fight Khabib?
I honestly would love to see Gaethje and Ferguson fight everybody and Khabib. Like those three guys, I could watch them fight anyone ever.
Anyways, the odds, for those curious, pretty even across all the board. But you got Aldo a minus 139 to a plus 128 in Volkanovski.
Okay. Wow. That line's moved a lot up and down from what I've heard over the course of this lead in. I'm curious to see what it ends up at. I think I don't know which way people are going to end on this one. I think Jose Aldo absolutely should be the favorite base if you're just going off of level of competition and like known skills in all areas of the sport. However, when you factor in age, that shit starts to get real curious. So, especially, man, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I am fading a lot of old Brazilians on this card.
So, I'll say one thing.
Like Diego, I was about to fade the shit out of Francisco Trinaldo up until they cut that fight. So,
I'll say this real quickly. I don't mean to be an asshole and interrupt. I mentioned something about the future of the featherweight division.
Right.
Stacked as it is, as stacked as lightweight is, as stacked as welterweight is, hell, as stacked as middleweight is. Did you see what they just announced for featherweight?
Remind me, because I'm not sure.
Brian T. City Ortega versus Zabit Magomed Sharipa.
I did. Well, first off,
is going to
announced. Let's go ahead and use fucking full on air quotes on that, because they just said they want to do that and then just put it out in the ether like it's real. Yeah, that's UFC fucking matchmaking nowadays. I miss Joe Silva.
However, they're probably right based on that they know.
Oh, I'm sure. Like.
Who do you like in that fight, real quick, though? I know that's probably like 5 months. I kind of like Zabit in a fucked up way because his scrambling is great based on what we saw against Jeremy Stevens. I just don't remember. Has he been in a 5-round fight, though? That's the thing. That's the catch. That's the fucking caveat to it all.
That's the rub, bro.
Think about it. Have we seen Zabit in a 5-round fight? I don't remember.
I don't know that we have.
But you see why I asked?
I was going to say yes, but it was Yair every time I was going to say yes that I was thinking of. I don't think he has headlined a card. I don't
think he has. So until then, I would favor...
Yeah, I don't trust fucking Brian T. City Ortega to win a fight in the 4th or 5th round either, though.
That's true. God damn it, yeah. Whatever.
That motherfucker does not look good outside of the 3rd, as we've seen.
Anyway, sorry, I just had to mention that fight's happening for
it's interesting. It definitely will be the featherweight division's always fun. It's I would argue 3rd best division in the sport.
And Frankie Edgar is shouting out Max Holloway.
I don't give a fuck about Frankie fighting Max at this point. Like, I love Frankie as much as everybody else loves Frankie.
Can I be honest about Frankie?
What the fuck are we doing with Frankie at this point?
Can I say this real quick? And this is all I'm going to say about Frank Edgar. Dude, if you're smart, you look at the landscape of the bantamweight division.
And you don't find Brian T. City Ortega right before a fucking title fight?
No, listen. You're dropping the fuck down to 135.
Oh, God. You're wanting to drop more weight?
No. I'm telling you right now. He can do it. He's 5'6". He's tiny.
Yeah.
He can easily.
They get faster the lower he goes, and he does not get better the slower he gets.
This is the thing. If he can win,
I think he does better at 55 than 45.
You're probably right. I don't know. I feel like he'd be good at 135.
I think his whole game is built around being the quicker guy.
Yeah, you're probably right.
With the
But you
better
see what I'm
cardio.
trying to get at, though? I feel like
I do.
just because of his size.
I get it. And
I feel
he
like he
definitely
could dominate
could.
135.
He definitely could make 35. I think he just looks like shit if he makes 35.
Yeah.
And like what? Oh, Henry Cejudo. There's a great matchup for Frank Yeager.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I don't know what happens. I love Frankie.
I like Frankie a lot. Hell, I still to this day think Frankie might beat Conor McGregor on a good day. Way less so than I did at the time when he should have fought him the first time. But
yeah, after Conor beat Dennis Seaver.
Shit, yeah. Literally, that's when they should have fought. Or worst case after Aldo. Worst case.
Anyways, let's get to the co-main event.
Oh god, do we have
between, American fighter, and I already have my reservations on this. American fighter Jared Cannonier going against Brazilian legend and one of the greatest middleweights of all time, if not the greatest middleweight of all time, Anderson the Spider Silva. I'll just say this. I think Jared should win this based on what I saw I did to David Branch, who is a BJJ fucking wizard and has decent boxing himself.
Got killed by fucking Jack Hermanson last week. Or 2 weeks ago, or whatever, fucking 4 weeks ago. Whatever.
I like continuing this. Can he knock out Anderson Silva? Fuck yeah.
Everybody can knock out Anderson Silva at this point.
This dude's power is crazy. Can Anderson Silva win this fight? I'll tell you this. He's not going to win it by a knockout. He's going to win by being crafty defensively and winning via decision. And it's in Brazil. That's how Silva wins this. I'll say right now, Cannonier's winning this fight. I think he's going to knock him the fuck out.
Really? What round?
I'm going round 2. He's going to clip him hard. Honestly, I think Cannonier knows it's 3 rounds, and he's like, well, I just dropped down a weight. And granted, yes, you and I have discussed, we've seen the evidence. When you go up in weight, you retain your power. And yes, it's been evident sometimes when you go down a weight, you retain more power too. It just depends on how much water your brain retains, all that shit. Everybody's body reacts differently to weight cutting. If Cannonier wasn't cutting much at 205 and he cuts more, gets 185, his body probably won't be affected severely compared to other weight cuts. And I don't know how to explain it well because I don't weight cut myself. So either way, it's based on what I've seen, right? Based on what I've seen, I fully expect Cannonier to really just push the pace and swing for the fences. Can he lose to Silva? Yeah, man. Dude, Silva still got that defensive style. Whether he does that faux Wing Chun shit, and if some of it's practical, whatever you want to call it, right? Don't call Steven Seagal saying he taught him Aikido, because then you'll just get slapped by any real martial arts practitioner. But I actually fully expect Cannonier to fucking slap Silva around pretty bad with some crazy hooks.
The
only thing I could see you're having trouble is inside the clinch or inside the pocket, where Silva can kind of just piece him up with some uppercuts or jabs.
I think if this gets to the clinch, Silva throws hella nasty knees. But I don't think I think Cannonier can easily shuck him off and just toss him around just based on the size difference. I'm taking Cannonier by decision in this one, actually. I think he definitely takes the first 2 rounds. I think the 3rd round could very easily be close if Cannonier starts slowing down. And I would be very surprised if Silva didn't act amazed that he lost the decision. I just have trouble seeing a way in which Cannonier doesn't take the first round or 2 just off of sheer volume, number 1, which Anderson Silva does not put out anymore. And number 2, just size difference, which I think is a problem for a guy like Anderson Silva who used to rely on his reflexes and is not as quick as he used to be. So I think Cannonier probably, I would not be surprised if Cannonier clips him in the first with a 1 combo, because that is how you catch Anderson Silva, is you overload how much info he's taking in, so that way it makes it harder and harder to slip. That's how guys like Izzy Adesanya and Chris Weidman, they throw long 4 or 5 piece combos or 6 or 7 piece feints into combos, and that causes a lot of trouble for Anderson. Bisping did a great job of that too. And just constantly fainting, putting together 2-3 punches in a row, expecting a reaction. So you're fainting in and out of them. And I think that's, as long as Cannonier is able to push a pace against Anderson Silva and not get plodding, which, to be fair, he does get kind of plodding sometimes, especially when he's looking for power punches. But I just think as long as he doesn't come in like waddling forward and throwing Forrest Griffin-esque giant hooks, I think he's going to take the first round or two. And I think after that, it's just a matter of Anderson not being able to catch up.
Yeah, I could very well see it as well.
But Brazil, so who the fuck knows?
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, it's not as corrupt as boxing. Well, nothing's really corrupt as boxing.
It depends on who's judging. Remember, fucking Adelaide Bird did judge in the UFC.
Yeah, so I wish you didn't mention her, but I wish you didn't mention her at all, but it's been said. So yeah, I mean, it's just those shitty, salty reminders.
Yep.
I mean,
what are the odds looking like on that?
Let me check right now.
It's got to be Silva as a slight favorite, right? No. Or it's a very slight underdog.
Jared Cannonier is a -132 to a +115.
Okay, that's actually a little wider than I would have expected, but yeah, that sounds totally right.
I'll go ahead and let you kick off the main event of the evening.
Man, I'm so fucking hyped for this fight. So Rose Namajunas taking on Jessica Andrade. Man, I have been saying for a while, I think the toughest style matchup, I think a lot of people have been saying this, but by far the toughest style matchup for Rose Namajunas is Jessica Andrade. Yep. She's just such a fucking tank. And Rose people forget how young Rose is into her career compared to Jessica. Rose has an 8-3 pro record. However, she does have a handful of Amy fights as well, 4 of them. And she's taking on Jessica Andrade, who is 19-6, and who also fought up at the 135 division, which I think is I think that's an underrated factor in this fight, is just not just the size difference, because I think everybody is aware of that, but just the experience difference. While Rose has fought extremely, extremely high level people, Jessica Andrade has fought high level people that were way fucking bigger for her, and she's been doing it for way longer. So Jesus Christ, some of these records. Okay, so Rose has fought a who's who at the 115 division, everybody from Tisha Torres at Invictus 6, Alex Chambers, Calderwood, Marcos, Esparza, Hill, Van Zant, Tisha again, Carolina, Michelle Watterson, and Joanna twice, which is a fucking insane run of basically all stars. Andrade, however, started out in the local scene in Brazil, and then actually she fought Miliana Dudieva back before debuting at UFC on Fox 8 against Liz Carmouche. After that, think about how much bigger some of these people are that Jessica Andrade fought. She fought Rosie Sexton, same size, Raquel Pennington, Larissa Pacheco, Marion Renault, Sarah Morass, Raquel Pennington again, Amanda Montanero, which that was a grappling match. And then she drops down, takes on Jessica Penne, Joanne Calderwood, Angie Hill, Joanna, Claudia, Tisha, Carolina. Good fucking God.
The fucking who's who, man.
And not only that, some of those people are like fucking 40, 50 pounds heavier than her. Like fucking, how much bigger is Raquel Pennington than Jessica Andrade? They must walk around at 30 pounds different weight.
Oh, easily.
And she fought Rocky Pennington twice and won a split decision in the first one. So, oh man, I think it is underrated I think people know how strong Jessica Andrade is, and I think people know how big she is. I don't think they understand how well she is able to use her own size. And I think that in combination with Rose having some trouble in the clinch, as shown in the Carolina fight, I think that and the power of Andrade makes this a very fucking tough out. A lot of people have been using the Joanna comparison in this fight, and while I get it, I don't know that that's the right comparison to use. I think the more interesting common opponent to use instead of Joanna is Angie Hill.
Yeah,
because I think they both bring an Angie Hill-esque. Like, I get that Andrade doesn't quite have the power punching that Angie Hill has, but she definitely has the size and the pop on Rose, which not a lot of people do.
It's funny. As you talk about this, my brother's literally texting me, who's winning tomorrow, Rose or the other chick? And I'm like literally trying to like listening to explain. He's like, I just watched her fight against Torres, a recap. So this brings me to I like Andrade in this fight, mostly because of the clinch work. Andrade's going to be the more physical, stronger fighter. I think she's going to work Rose against the fence, kind of negate her ability to kind of just box at distance and just kind of just negate that jab. She's going to be constant pressure fighter. And I think she's going to constantly just keep putting Rose on her butt, really, and just go for the takedowns and just the ground and pound. And Rose is tough as shit, and I'm going Andrade's decision. I think it's going to be a pretty dominant performance. Rose is going to have her moments. I think she'll win probably about 2 rounds at the most, just with her boxing and just her ability to kind of – she'll mix up some teeps for maybe like outside leg kicks, but I really just see Andrade using her full physical capabilities to just keep pressuring the fuck out of Rose and just dumping her just every round. I don't think she's going to try anything too sophisticated or crafty. I think she's just going to just stick with what she knows how to do, and that's just grind people out and just dump them on their ass. And I like Andrade in this fight.
Yeah, so I'm actually leaning kind of similar. I'm taking Andrade as well. However, I'm going to take her to get the TKO.
Okay.
Probably, I'm going to say late second. And mostly because... yeah, I think the clinch is going to be a big thing, but I don't think this fight's going to the ground at all. And I think that's where Rose's big advantage is. I think if Andrade does get takedowns and try and work top control, I think that's the most dangerous thing she can do, because Rose's scrambling, number one, and her ability to just catch wild-ass submissions or catch you slipping in a scramble is very real, as shown against multiple high-level grapplers. Rose has fucked up some very good grapplers. I mean, she's hitting fucking flying triangles and Invicta and all kinds of crazy shit. So I think Andrade I agree with the part that I think Andrade's best way to win this fight is to just constantly smash the distance. So you shut down all of Rose's range weapons and you just try and constantly crash right into either the pocket or all the way into the clinch. And I think as long as she's able to consistently do both of those things, with head movement of slipping the long shots of Rose and being able to mitigate the kicking game of Rose, which that's a pretty tall fucking order. I think Andrade, I just have trouble not seeing Andrade stepping in and winging wild ass hooks that one of them lands. Especially with, I think a lot of Rose's success will come from sticking on the outside with jabs and kicks. And that shit is dangerous when you're facing a giant overhand winger like Andrade. Because both those things can be heavily countered with just a giant step in winging shot, and that is what Andrade is very fucking good at. So yeah, I'm gonna take Andrade TKO late second. However, if Rose does come out of this with a win, I don't know who the fuck even gets close to giving her problems at this point, outside of is that one wrestler? The one wrestler,
Tatiana?
Yeah, Tatiana is 15, right?
Yeah, she calls herself the Habib. Well,
Tatiana's wrestling game is gonna be a fucking trouble for anybody.
It's great, class. And she's like fucking 5'8". She's huge.
Also, hey, shouts out to a smaller version of a 115er, but Invicta just got a new champ who can wrestle her ass off too out of Gilroy, California. So. I think wrestling is going to be a big problem for Rose when it gets to the higher levels, especially if she doesn't have a size advantage and people are have solid like grappling defense and submission defense, but
yeah,
in this case, Andrade, I think I rarely will pick someone who just fucking hits hard and steps into the pocket. But in this matchup, I think that could be exactly what Andrade needs to get the win here. So, yeah, I'm gonna take her TKO second, but zero confidence. Like,
so
I think it'll happen, but would I at all be surprised to see Rose either TKO or sub Andrade? No, not at all.
I'm gonna give you the odds on this, and then I don't want to piss my pants. So basically, this is my
give me the odds and then hit mute.
Yeah. So Andrade is a minus 128 to a plus 109.
Okay, so that makes sense. I know that line is. Go ahead. I know that line has moved around a lot.
So I'm getting muted now. I will be back in a second.
That's right. We'll wrap when Chris gets back.
Seeing you all. So
yeah, we'll wrap when Chris gets back. But yeah, I can see that line. I know it's moved around a lot. I'm surprised to see Andrade closing as the favorite. I kind of thought some late money would come in on Rose. We're recording this Friday night, as always. Oh God, it's already 11:22 on the West Coast. So I guess this is getting posted late. Yeah, I'm gonna take. I get why everybody's leaning on Andrade. A little bit of it makes me nervous that Andrade is just getting that Ngannou style rub where, hey, bro, you hit hard, so everyone thinks you're gonna win everything, which I think is a kind of a weak picking game. Just because somebody hits hard doesn't really mean shit in the long run in picking fights. From how my picking experience has gone. Yeah, Andrade, just the level of experience she's faced and the difference, the giant women she's fought. And looked very competitive. Like you guys know, I'm very high on Rocky Pennington. I think Rocky Pennington is one of the toughest fucking outs around. And I just, if you go to decision, or if you go through two rough fights with Rocky Pennington looking competitive physically, and then drop down 20 fucking pounds and start just housing people like Carolina, I gotta take you. But man, Rose Namajunas, she is one of those people who, especially being coached by Trevor Whitman's fucking striking game is built around sharp, tiny adjustments that seem to make the world of difference. People a lot of times just equate Gaethje's stand-up game with a lot of low kicks and pressure, but a lot of it's just fucking pinpoint accuracy when he does throw, and just also being able to catch shit the right way. Like he catches a lot of punches on his forehead or slips correctly with them. And I think that's an underrated aspect of almost all of Trevor Whitman's fighters' games. I think that's what gave Rose a lot of advantages in the fights against Joanna, is just her ability to slip with punches and her ability to not load up on stuff, but just pinpoint shots in at the right time and just use good footwork and distance management, especially distance management. So, but yeah, I'm leaning on Andrade. So we shall see. The top, I would say, fuck, I almost got real optimistic, and then I look back at this card. I give a shit. If this was a care don't care, I care about like fucking 4.5 fights, if I'm being honest.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
Like, some of this card is like, I think they'll be fun fights, don't get me wrong, but like, they don't do shit for the division, or like they're weird one-sided clear, either trying to get somebody's name over or trying to get a Brazilian win. Like, there's some weird matchmaking on this card, so I think it'll be interesting nonetheless. But the top 3 fights in Bellator are better than the top 3. Well, if Jared Cannonier and Anderson Silva wasn't the co-main, Bellator would have, the UFC would have the better top 3 fights, but I don't know, man. That Jared Cannonier Anderson Silva fight might make Bellator the better 3-fight main card.
Yeah, might be right there.
Cool, everybody. Well, we will go ahead and wrap this episode here. As always, you can find us at TSOV pod on Twitter. You can send us an email, chris@thesoundofviolence.com or sovpod@gmail.com. It all goes to the same fucking place. So do what you wanna. Do what you wanna. And yeah, we will be back next week. We have one more fight week until we have a week off finally, Chris. Oh my god.
So what is it? 2 weeks from now we have a week off? I know next week.
Yeah, okay. Next week is the Lee versus RDA card.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Exactly. I had the exact same reaction when I looked it up before the show. So we will see how that goes. I'm curious to see how this Bellator card goes. I think it might be a shit show, but we will find out. Can't be more of a shit show than their fucking Ultra Homer goddamn England card that they had last week, which was very, very sad. Man, fucking Scotty Cokes. You gotta stop doing one-sided matchups like that. Anyway, so we're going to wrap this here, but if you could leave us a review on iTunes, I believe, or a rating, that was the other word. It helps the show. It helps people find us, so that's cool. Also, if you subscribe on YouTube, you can see the dope-ass painting the homie Gilbert did. If you guys are looking for paintings, check out the link in the description for Gilbert's Instagram. Just click on the bold Instagram tag for Gilbert, and it'll pop up with his page where you can see some of the work he does. And I'm sure he'd love to get a commission from somebody. So if anybody wants a painting of a fighter, I literally just sent Gilbert a picture of the black and white logo we used, and that's what he came up with, which he did fucking great. So if you want some custom artwork of whatever the fuck you want, a lot of the stuff he does is not at all fight related, but he can do that too. So hit him up. Help him get some work out there. And I think that's all I had. Chris, you got anything else?
Nothing for me, man. But I'm gonna try my best to catch either of these cards tomorrow, if I can. Really, besides being busy, trying to make some money. So I'll do what I can, man. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, we will be back next week then. And until next time, everybody, go do something decadent. We out. Hey.